everybody, and welcome to another edition of Lego Break. My name is Matthew, and the question's always going to remain on this show. Are we going to just simply kick back, take a Lego break, build some Legos, work on some Legos, or are we going to actually break some Legos? Hence the name Lego Break. Well, today I think we're just going to work on some Legos, build some Legos, work on the harbor area. We're not going to break anything today unless I do it accidentally as we are working on today's episode. And what I want to do today is fill in all this area with some base plates. I want to add some minifigures to this, just add some detail in general. I'm going to show you the inside of this building, and we're going to add a little wall here over by the lighthouse, so let's get started. All right, here we go. We are now eye level with the harbor area, and let me take you around it so we can see what we're going to be working on today. This is a 2-stud high exposed wood area, so we're going to build a little wall for that. And what I have over here already is some olive green on the bottom, some dark gray arches on the top. Take you past the pier and over to the industrial side of the harbor area. This is where I had one of the ships, but I removed it so you can see what I have built there. And let me take you around to the corner here. Let me get that ship out of the way. And in the back we have just a dark gray area and some olive green and more arches on this side. The reason I don't have the olive green over here is because I ran out of that color. So what we're going to do over here is just add some dark gray bricks. Also, I told you I'm going to show you the inside of this building. I already kind of got the roof lifted off because I didn't really make this modular, but let me show you the inside of it. And what this is, this whole thing, I got 2 of these city harbor sets. As you can see, there's 2 of the workable cranes to get the cargo off the ships. And there's the other ship I just set aside. And I put 2 of these little buildings they had together. And of course, I made the pier out of all this with a few extra added bricks. Now here's the inside of it. It came with 1 table, so of course when you get 2 sets, you get 2 tables there. And let me show you the little store I made underneath. There is the ice cream shop, a little store inside with some surfboards, and then a couple of extra tables for the restaurant where you can enjoy your ice cream. Here's a look at the outer perimeter of the harbor area. And what we're going to do is fill this in all with some base plates. Also, I want to add a lot of more minifigures, maybe some detail if we can. And we might even get started on these train tracks that are going to be some kind of bridge next to the highway that's going to come up over here to the downtown district. Okay, I have some base plates ready to go here. This should only take a minute, but I'm just going to set them in place over here, as I think this is going to look much better. Getting all this exposed wood and felt covered here. As you can already see, I got 2 of them in here. Let me remove these train tracks. We'll get a 3rd one in here. And I got a total of 5 of them. So let me just move this out of the way. We'll get this over here. And it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to get this one in here, but we can do it. And yes, it was a bit challenging to get this last base plate in, but it's only because the road overlapped on this side, and then I had to get it in on this side attached over on this side of the harbor area. But while I have it apart, I want to show you what I did. I have some 2-stud wide Legos that go underneath the top of the pier, and I'm just going to simply set this in, and that's how it is all connected and goes together there. Okay, now we're going to cover this exposed little wall up. It is 2 studs high, and let me show you some of the pieces we will be using over here. I have 3 of these 2x10 light gray pieces that are flat, and I also have 10 of these dark gray 1x6 pieces. We have a few slope pieces. I'll show you what we're going to do with them in a few minutes. But let's get started on the wall. I made this, like I said, 2 studs high. It's going to be as simple as snapping these on. Just like that. And here's what we're going to do with these slope pieces. I've got a little rock wall I'm going to build here. That way it can match up with the mountain that's already on the lighthouse. And we got one more to snap in place here if I can get it. It's kind of hanging off the edge. There we go. And eventually, if we want to, we can even extend that and make that part of the mountain. And also, let's snap these flat pieces on here just to kind of give it a more finished look and incorporate this lighthouse into the harbor area. And surprise, here it is, the set that I will be adding to my Lego City today. It is City set number 4645. It is called Harbor. It came out back in 2011. And I had this set built years ago, and it's been in this box in storage for several years now. And I would like to just tell you a little bit about it. It's got a nice crane here that's adjustable. It turns 360 degrees here. It also comes with a nice truck for transporting the cargo, and it also comes with this nice big cargo ship. These are removable. You can see some of the cargo down in there. And it also comes with a pier and a little fisherman up there. There's also another harbor set that came out. As you can see, I've got 2 of them in my city behind me. It is called Harbor as well. It's got the same exact name. It is set number 60422 and came out about 2 years ago and is now a retired product. One more thing I would like to say about the old set versus the new set. The old set, this little fisherman guy here, he had a little string where you could actually catch the fish, where the new cargo, or the new harbor set, I should say, this little fishing guy, he doesn't have any string with him. I did want to share with you the way this set is built so you can kind of see how it comes together. After I did a little research, I did find out there's a couple of rare pieces, not exclusive to this set, but rare pieces that go with it. One being that yellow crane on the top of the building, the little pincher part of it, and the other being the green boat bottom. Just to show you how big this boat bottom is, it's 48 studs long plus a little bit extra where the nose of the ship goes. And let's flip it over here so you can take a look at the bottom of it. Okay, now time to add the harbor set to the harbor area. So what I'm going to do is remove this base plate right here. It's a 48 by 48. And that's good news because the harbor set is 48 studs long. So it's going to fit perfect right here in this area. Let me just slide it on in there. And then you're probably wondering, well, what are you going to do with this exposed area? So I think all I'm going to do, and I hope I can get this in without knocking my whole highway down over here. Let's just slide this in right here. And then we're going to have to lift this part of the road up. And then slide that base plate over right there. And then part of that's just going to have to go underneath the highway. And then at least I got a place I can support it there. There we go. All right, so we have that much done. And now the reason I want to put it this way instead of it facing the other way, because the pier I had right here, but I removed it because I want to face it this way because for a couple of reasons. this way we can move this little crane around here, and we can get to both ships with it. And also we can get to, let me add the truck here, we can get to the truck. It can go right on in through here. I mean, if we need to get stuff out of the truck. And then later on, I want to add my train tracks. Let me just grab a piece of track right here. And then that way, if the train pulls up as well and we want to add something, we can do it. So that's the reason I want to face it that way instead of the other way. Now, what we can do with this pier, I mean, we can always add it down here or just omit the whole thing altogether. But anyway, I think it looks pretty nice right here. I did have to take a little part of the pier off right here. I'm gonna have to do some little bit of modifications to it, but we will get to this more in detail in just a second. Okay, now here we are looking more eye level at the pier, and you notice how it goes up and it does not line up with the back of the door. So this is just where it happened to fit into the harbor area here, and what I'm going to have to do is just make one more quick modification and just move this whole building down about 4 or 5 studs so the pier lines up with the back of the building there. Okay, I actually ended up moving it about 7 studs down, and what I did was I put an extra base plate in right here, and then I put 2 2x3 base plates in right there. And what was happening was this whole thing was very tipsy, kept wanting to go back toward the water. So I had to fill this area in with some grass, you know, connect all these flatter 48x48 plates to the new harbor set that I put in right here. And I also had to add a double stud right here to connect it to this base plate because it kept wanting to go back that way. But as you can see, I got it all secure now, and it actually looks pretty good. Let me see if I can get around this other side so you can see what it looks like on the front area right here. There we go. I'm on this side now, so you can get a front view of it from this way. And actually, as you're going down the highway, and if you wanted to look at it off to the left, there's a good look at the whole area here. There's the ship. I decided to take one of the ships that came out with the new harbor set and added the ship from the old harbor set over there. And while we're talking about the ships, it's quite a bit longer than the new one is. Anyway, one more look at it from this side. And let's see how the crane works with all this with a closer up shot than what I had earlier. So whenever a train passes through, you can see the crane will go there and drop the cargo off or pick it up. It can pick it up from the truck, and then it can transport it over here to the ships. Or vice versa. Some cargo comes in off the water and they want to transport it by train. It can just come over here, drop it off in the train, or drop it off in the truck, whichever they prefer. And I decided to add a couple of train cars here in the yard just to see how well this crane's going to come down over the cargo of the train. There it is right there. Let's go ahead and clamp it on. I don't think I'm going to be able to lift that off, but let's go ahead and try it. Oh, it is going to take it up. I thought it was going to be too heavy for it, but there we go. It's lifting it up. And if we want to transport this around to the ship. Okay, take 2 on this. This time it's going to make it over here. There it is going. All right, let's go ahead and lower it. And there it is on the ship. There we go. That is how our Lego crane is operating in this cargo area. Okay, and let's have one last look at the harbor area before we wrap up today's video. There are 3 of the cranes right here on this side, on the industrial side of the harbor with the 2 cargo ships. Let's move over to the pier and the recreational side of the harbor. I added a lot of minifigures. As you can see, I've got this fisherman from the newer Harbor City set, this guy from the older one that we added today. We have the custom restaurant right here and the little surf shop down below with the ice cream shop. Got some tables for people to eat at the ice cream shop or the restaurant. That's what those are for. Got some minifigs sitting here on the bench. And of course, we got the lighthouses over here. This big one is definitely going to stay in the city. The little one, I'm not too sure about. It just got placed here just to cover up the wood to give the area a little more finished look. Probably eventually we'll add some kind of store to that area. And then here's a look at the old fishing store as well. I added some extra fish out front from both of the harbor sets just so they have a little extra to sell. Let's come back around this way. One last look as we move on through here. And let's move the camera around to the back side here. I do have a little bit of grass in that area. And as we come around this way, let's just have one last view from this angle over here. And let me quickly talk about the train tracks that I put in the area here. This track here, as you can see, I've got a dead end on it. That is for the trains to pull up, for them to load and unload the cargo on and off the trains. We do have another branch that comes off over here. Eventually, I'm going to make a bridge that goes from the lower level up to the upper level, connecting in with these tracks and over into the downtown district. From there, the train will go around the top area. On the other side of the green base plates, the very dirty green base plates, we're going to have a train track go down through the middle of the canyon over to this side, and it's going to loop back around over to this area. Okay, there you have it, today's video on the harbor area. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching another edition of Lego Break. My name is Matthew. Please give this video a like and subscribe to the station, and we'll see you next time.